Welcome to Voices That Lead, where Caribbean voices inspire leadership. The podcast where Caribbean voices share the stories, lessons, and leadership insights that shape great communicators. I'm Marlene Stevenson Daly, Distinguished Toastmaster, and as we count down to the Toastmasters District Conference in Jamaica this May 2026, we are bringing you conversations with speakers, with leaders, and change makers who understand the power of communication. Whether you're a seasoned Toastmaster or someone who simply wants to become a better speaker, this podcast is for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm delighted in this episode to have two very, very special guests. They are leaders, not just in Toastmasters, but they're leaders in their communities, in their countries. Allow me to begin by introducing our first guest for this program. We have a distinguished Toastmaster in the house, who is also a past district director. She is Distinguished Toastmaster Brenda Maynard. She's a transformational leader, a mentor, and a visionary whose career spans public service, education, and community empowerment. She currently serves as the Section Head of Administration and Facility Management at the Parliament of St. Martin. And there, she leads with a commitment to excellence, integrity, and service. As I said, she is a distinguished Toastmaster. She's also a certified curriculum developer and a past Smedley Distinguished District Director. Brenda is widely recognized for her outstanding contributions to leadership development in the Caribbean. And in 2024, she received both the Toastmasters International Presidential Citation, big up, and the Caribbean Citation Award, two of the highest honors in the Toastmasters International Organization. Allow me to bring to the lectern an exceptional leader and mentor, Brenda, whose remarkable Toastmasters journey is a testament to her unwavering dedication and outstanding achievements. Let's make some noise, Toastmaster Brenda. All right. And welcome, welcome, welcome. We're also joined by another distinguished leader who is currently manager of the Trafalgar branch at Chancellor Insurance Agency here in Jamaica. And she has built a 35-year career in dual sectors, in finance and in education. She also has a third career as a volunteer. Her passion to finish well is only surpassed by the deep desire to serve and to help individuals to succeed. A consummate builder of people in her church, at the workplace, and the wider community, she knows how to inspire and uplift them to achieve their purpose. I won't tell you all about her role as president of the board of directors of the Jamaica Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. There's a lot more to learn about her, but I will tell you that she has been involved in Toastmasters since 1990, and she was an international director candidate in 2020. Her home club is Sagicor Group Jamaica Toastmasters, and she's convinced that engaging in the Toastmasters program has not only helped to shape her effectiveness as a leader and communicator, but to sharpen her life skills, setting the stage to influence beyond the organization. In 2022, she was appointed as region advisor, and this took her across districts in the Caribbean and North and South America, where, as a working ambassador for the organization, she guided, trained, and supported Toastmasters leaders in effectively executing their roles. She's here to engage and to inspire us, and I'd like for you to put your virtual hands together and make welcome distinguished Toastmaster Shirley Daly. Let me see some love. All right. Ladies, it is so good to have you. My goodness. Today, we want to talk a little bit about leadership. In fact, our podcast, this episode is dubbed From Speaker to Leader. And we want to talk a little bit about how Toastmasters helps to develop leadership skills, leadership roles in Toastmasters, lessons that you have both learned from leading clubs and districts and region, and how communication really helps to shape leadership and much more. So where shall we start? Can we just get a quick synopsis in very short order? A little bit of your own background. Where did you start in Toastmasters? How did it begin for you? Toastmaster Maynard, would you like to start off?
Well, actually, I have a funny story because I was actually kidnapped and my car keys were taken from me, and I had to go to a meeting to get my car keys back. And I haven't left cell. Since then, I'm still looking for a lawyer for my mentor, but I made her pay because she has to follow me on this journey wherever I go. So yes, I felt in the beginning because I was an educator that I didn't need why would I need Toastmasters? I can speak, I can, give presentations. But
Mm-hmm.
my first meeting, I was wowed with the peer-to-peer evaluation that I thought was so unique, and I haven't left since.
Wonderful. Toastmaster Shirley, how did you get into Toastmasters?
Okay, ladies, I have in my hand, I'm not sure if it can be visible on the camera, a book by Dale Carnegie, The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking.
Mm-hmm.
This book was given to me by my then manager, who became my mentor, the late great Tony Williamson. And in it he wrote, and I prefer to read it, to Shirley, may this little book help to tap the vast potential you have as a good to become a good public speaker. And that was in 1990, October.
And
And
that's how it started for you?
I just decided, I in Jamaica, we have the expression, it take telling. I
Mm-hmm.
took that and I moved right over to Life of Jamaica Toastmasters Club at the time. They were
Uh-huh.
meeting in the dining room of what is now the Sagicor Bank in New Kingston. And I
Wow.
have never looked back.
1990, that's a long association, and not just association in a casual way. You have been immersed in the program and you have become trainer, mentor, club builder, champion for Toastmasters.
Indeed. Thank you.
Yes. What are some of the leadership roles in Toastmasters? And how do you get an opportunity to hone your leadership skills? Brenda?
Well, I think it's very important. Well, I felt I was thrust into it because in my first year, by the same mentor, kidnapper, person I really look up to, I actually had to do two roles. So I was then the secretary and the PRO, and I worked, I guess, well, and then went on to be president. But for me, leadership, and I liked when you mentioned to Shirley about potential, because that's one of the things that I have coined as one of my slogans is when someone sees potential in you, prove them right. And sometimes you just have to go out there and do it. And the unique thing about Toastmasters is that you can do it at your own pace. I joined Toastmasters in 2014. And so by 2018, I was on the district level. So I did it quite quickly.
Yes.
And so that was my pace because I'm fast paced, I'm instant. I love numbers, crunch, crunch. Others do it, take a different approach. They do, parts over and over again. So everyone can do it and be comfortable with how you are achieving your journey. That's the really unique thing about our organization.
But you did something very special in District 81. You received the Smedley Award. For those persons who are not Toastmasters, just tell us, what does that mean?
Okay, so Toastmasters have benchmarks. So they have benchmarks for clubs, they have benchmark for districts. And so within the district, there's actually four levels of achievement, and Smedley would be the highest that a district can achieve by
Mhm.
different requirements that is placed by Toastmasters International. So in 2020, we were lucky, we were blessed, and the team worked very well together. We achieved not only did we achieve Smedley, but we achieved six of the seven international awards. So first in retention, first in membership, first in club growth. So it was really exciting for us.
Wow.
But what was important for me that we had our theme that year was no leader left behind. So I had 11 division directors, and they all 11 reached their highest potential, which is president distinguished. And out of my 54 area directors, 53 were also president distinguished. So we all achieved together. And so that was really
Wow.
exciting for me.
No district, no club, no division
No
left
one left
behind.
behind.
And that's a wonderful strategy to achieving that end objective, which you perhaps set for yourself in the very beginning, not without even thinking that, oh, I'm going to get an international citation. I'm going to get a Smedley reward. You know, you're just, or award, you're just putting in the work and making sure that each member has that member experience that will result in the outcomes that you want.
Definitely. It was a team effort. And what was interesting is remembering that the individual member is what makes our organization great. So if they're comfortable, if they feel connected, if they're exciting, you don't have to sell it. And so I thought my work started at Club Growth, however, because in my Club Growth year, I did a 5-year plan because I felt like there should be continuity. And
Yes.
of course, I aimed at eventually one day becoming the district director. So I needed to put things in place. So in my Club Growth year, we got 28 clubs. We got recognition from Toastmasters International during the meeting, and they adopted our 5-year plan into something that they started to do during the trainings for the trio. So we were excited about that. But one of my biggest facility for leadership is big teams. So I just led a DLC team, and my team was 30 persons. And we had a whole structure that we did it because I always feel once person gets the experience of leading, you find that they want to continue leading. They say, oh, this is not impossible. Oh, this is great. And out of that group, I heard some others say that, next year I'm going to run for district leadership role. So I guess we did our job. So it is just
Yes.
motivating them by, having them active within whatever I do. That is part of the way I lead.
Yes. Wonderful. Distinguished Toastmaster Shirley, what lessons have you learned from leading clubs and districts? Because you also served as district governor, it was called at the time when you served. And there would have been a lot going on in Toastmasters, the Caribbean Toastmasters at the time. What leadership lessons have you learned from leading?
Okay. So as I listened to Brenda, I recall that she would have really come after we would have laid so much ground for her. Because I remember the year that I would have been district governor was the year when Haiti had the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2010. In fact, our May conference should have been held in Haiti, and we had to move that. I was booking my ticket to go to Haiti the January to do a site visit on the day of the earthquake. So we had to pivot, recalibrate, and take the conference to St. Lucia. That year, we would have come to the end of the Toastmasters year in like June.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did not get any of the accolades. That time it was Joy Gittens, no Adamson, who was the district governor.
Yes.
Then we moved into July and I became district governor, and we had to continue building. We were inspired by the resilience of the Haitians. They were our biggest division. So one of the lessons learned is something that I've learned generally in leadership, that you have to spread yourself. You can't concentrate your efforts in any one area, because everybody can make a contribution. And if you concentrate your effort in any one area and that a breakdown takes place, you are in trouble. So that's one of the lessons. You need to spread your wings and make sure that you are touching lives or touching individuals all around. The other thing is the importance of sustainability. And how do you sustain something? You have to be consistent, be disciplined. Many times persons join Toastmasters because they want to become confident, become a better speaker, and sometimes a better leader. But they are not willing to do the work. They are not
Mm.
willing to be consistent in giving their speeches, playing the leadership role, and finishing. One of the beautiful things about Toastmasters is that you are able to measure as you go along, and you don't need to do a whole lot to complete a particular goal. Therefore, that consistency is important. That discipline is going to be what will drive your desire and cause it to happen for you to
Yeah.
realize your goal. So those are two key lessons, because in the same way, it is said that goals win matches, speeches make good Toastmasters and good Toastmasters meetings. Those are some of the two key
Yes.
things that I would want to
Two
leave.
key things
That
for you.
dedication and
Yeah.
being able to spread your effort
Mhm.
across. Have a
And
good week.
Toastmaster Brenda, I'm sure you would concur with those two lessons, spreading yourself,
Yeah.
touching people where they are, and being consistent and disciplined to do what you commit to do, because that's how
Mhm.
you're going to achieve those goals. But how does communication shape leadership in
Oh,
your
that is one of the key points of our success was that we initiated a communication aspect that wasn't there before, and we tried it and it was successful. So what
Mhm.
we did was that we took the district six or the district executives and we connected them directly with the club executives. So for instance, my group was all the presidents. So we had a WhatsApp group and we call ourselves CEOs, so creating extraordinary opportunities for our members. And
Right.
what we would do in those sessions is talk about you're the face of the organization. How can you motivate the persons that are working with you? How do we? So those was our sessions. The finance manager, she was linked with all the treasurers, and how can we communicate? How can we do good receipts? And so that worked for us. That was something unique, and we call it connecting with the district. That was, the mantra for us, so that they could see that it's almost the same. It doesn't matter what level that you're on, the communication is what is important. And that really, really worked well. And one of the things is for me is planning ahead and knowing, for instance, where you're coming from. Having started, or in my year in 2020, I looked at the stats. I look at, okay, so 5, 6 years we weren't distinguished, or whatever the case may be. But how do we move from point A to point B? And on the first day of July, we were at 74th place in the world. And I was like, what do we need to strategically do to move up? So that would mean I needed to learn to read the website. I needed to learn the stats, go and find out information about my clubs. It was extra work, but it was because we
Yes.
had the end goal. And once we communicated that to the members and we showed them how important their role is. So if the members did their achieved their goals, it pushed us up in ranking. If the members brought a new member, it pushed us up in ranking. And
Mhm.
so everyone was like, oh, so I'm important. And I made it my duty to always show them like the stats. So like, listen, this is what we did. We are excited. Jamaica is leading now with speeches. That club pushed us to level 4. We are celebrating. We celebrated every little step. So success became almost automatic because
Yeah.
everyone was doing it and achieving. And it wasn't about the whole big picture. It was taking a bite, a chance, taking it and
Yeah.
just melding it together. So communication, knowing the numbers. Lady Shirley introduced me one day and she said she likes numbers. And I laughed. And I was like, you are so wrong. Because maths are not I hated it. Thank God I got two mathematician children. But I like stats. I like planning and I like challenges. So
Yes.
for me, it is okay. How do we move from here to there? And I think the cliche knowledge is power was so important in my leadership role that because I knew where I needed to go, it enabled me to plan on how to get there. And so I have used that, and that's something I learned in Toastmasters that I use at work. I use it with my youth parliament. I use it with my Lions Club and everything. you need to plan, you need to find, and you need to put in a little extra to achieve a little better. That's just
Yeah.
what I feel.
So communication,
Yeah.
very, very important and key to being a successful leader. How would you describe yourself in terms of leadership? What kind of a leader would you say you are?
Mm. I think it's a
Shirley?
mixture. Oh, Shirley, go ahead with Shirley.
Me?
Both of
Because
you.
mine's
I'm
I
thinking
don't have
about.
I don't fit in one box. So that's
Okay.
what I would say.
Okay. Mine, quickly, without thinking, I'm a collaborative leader. That's my leadership style.
Mhm.
It does not mean that when the situation merits it, I cannot switch to that mode. Because as a leader, you have to be able to respond to this situation and
Mhm.
make decisions. But I find that my leadership style allows persons to make their contribution. They believe that they are valued, and together we can come to making the decision.
Mhm.
And while that is happening, it's a journey. Their own character is being shaped. Their skills are being built. So it's not just about me. At my heart, I love people and I want them to succeed. Therefore, whatever opportunities presents itself, I'm going to allow that. At
Yes.
this point in my own life as a branch manager in my company, so much of what I do in Toastmasters, those skills are transferred to my day-to-day job, as well
Yes.
as in the other areas in which I volunteer. Therefore, for example, in my branch, when we have branch meeting, that's where you discuss your progress, what the achievements are, and of
Mhm.
course, where you need to go, because we are very goal oriented. But what I do, I'm not the only one who chairs that meeting. I allow the sales representative the
Yeah.
opportunity to chair the meeting. Importantly, they also learn the value of preparation and
Yes.
doing that rehearsal.
What did
Therefore,
you
it is
say?
not just coming in and off the cuff you do something. But
Yes.
Brenda spoke about planning. That's what Toastmasters teaches you. Toastmasters has the three elements: before, during, and after.
Mhm.
So the planning, the preparation before, you execute during, and after you do an evaluation.
Yes.
And that evaluation is to give you information so that you can become better.
Yes. And as they say,
Therefore,
proper preparation prevents poor performance, right?
yes. And what they say, perfect something make
Perfect planning.
there's something about makes perfect. What they said?
Something
What,
with perfect
practice?
plan. Yeah, perfect.
Come and say it again.
Practice makes perfect, but you better be practicing the right thing.
That's right. And not only that, somebody switched it and said practice makes progress.
Yes, indeed.
That's the key.
If you would ask me what type of leader I
Hmm.
am the leader that make things user friendly. So I heard that the other week. Because I feel that I need to put myself in the place or the shoe of the persons who I'm leading. So if I have a project to do, I will go through that project and say, okay, what role can I play? How can I make it easier so that they can actually work at the potential that they need to get to? So for
Hmm.
instance, I'm very much into if we have a farm to do, I say, okay, let's digitalize it so that we can all use it and then actually spend the time liberating or talking about what is important. And we will
Hmm.
get the stats after. And I honestly believe that there's a leader in everyone. And so I switch around the roles also, like Lady Shirley said, and give people the opportunity to lead. I also feel that there should always be something in it for the person that is doing it. Now, one of the things Toastmaster International has, of course, is, you get the credits based on things. One of the things they don't have is for teams that if you were, for instance, on the Club Go team, you would not necessarily get the merit for that. So what I would tell the persons on my Club Go team, on my DD team, on my division director team is use this experience as your HPL project. Pick an aspect of something we are planning and you plan it so that you can use it on your personal journey. So
Yes.
whatever I'm leading, I let it connect back to the persons I'm leading so that they too can grow on their individual journey. So it's a win-win situation.
You're being strategic
Yes,
in
very much
doing
so.
that.
Very
Yes,
much so.
yes, yes.
Like everything else, all aspects of life is selling. So she's also selling the benefits. What's in it for me? You
Yes,
know
the
that
whiffing.
WFF?
The
What's in it
whiffing.
for me?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, it's not a radio
WI,
station, right?
what's in it?
What's
Double
in it?
In it.
IIFM.
WIIFM. I'm saying it's
Yes.
Yes.
not a radio station. It's just what's in it for me.
What's in it for me? Very important.
Yes. What advice do you give to emerging leaders in Toastmasters? Because you have made such a great contribution in your respective roles over the years, and you continue to mentor and to help to shape the organization. And we're changing a little bit, yes? This conference that's coming up in May 13 to 17 here in Jamaica is going to be the last. So it's a historic conference for District 81. And I'm not sure all Toastmasters understand what's happening. I know you're both part of that process. Can you just shed a little light on it? I'm hearing District 222, District 223. Can you give me a little clarity on that?
Okay.
Well, we actually both on the team of
Okay.
two
Oh,
to two.
who was that directed to?
Yes, yes.
Both.
Okay, go first, Madam Transitional Chair.
Yes. Yes. As you mentioned, I am the chair for the transition committee. Now, Toastmasters International is doing what they're called reshaping the boundaries for districts, and of course, doing some restructuring in districts themselves.
Mhm.
So, District 81 came up for that kind of reshaping of the boundaries, and we are now going to become District 222 and
Mhm.
District 223. District 222 will have mainly countries that are in Central, South, and South America. And where the other district, 223, will be mainly what we want to be more on the Caribbean side. All right,
Mhm.
more north. Now, what is happening is that at this time, we're looking at how things are done in District 81 at this point, and what can we do differently. They deem it as is and to be. And our role really is, having done this review, what are the recommendations you can make? And importantly, being able to hand a document to the new district leaders of both districts to say, here is a track on which you can run.
Yes.
And therefore, we are in the whole process. Brenda, she is the chair of the District Alignment Committee.
No.
No, sorry, District Leadership Committee. And that is where the whole candidacy is done, the selection. But what is interesting is that it's almost like starting a new district for 223, because most of the countries, the territories that will make that up, they are new. And what Toastmasters International has done is, before clubs will come into those countries, they are making sure that when you have clubs in somewhere like Peru or Bolivia, they will have a district in which to be a part. All right.
Mhm.
And so it's very interesting. And it gave us an opportunity to see, too, those of us who might have not been so intricately involved, to see exactly what the districts has been doing. And I found that as I reviewed, I saw how stable District 81 has been through the years. So
Yes.
District 81 has stood on a firm foundation, and it therefore means that we can hand something of worth and value to the new leaders. And not
Yes.
only that, when they take office in July of this year, we are going to still be there with them, mentoring, coaching, which is, of course, some of the things we do in Toastmasters. And we're
Yes.
going to be with these leaders. And I just wanted to make the point that in Toastmasters, we have to understand that as leaders, we must be responsive. We have some fundamental skills that we are taught. We have some fundamental abilities, competencies, and so on, but we must be willing to modify them or to shape them towards filling the needs that we meet in the various situation, be it
Yes.
territory or in a within a team or
As we
an
evolve.
individual, all of
Yes.
that. So those are some of the key things that are important now we have seen will come out of the evolution as the transition takes place. And having been in Toastmasters since 1990, the one of the fondest part for me is just to see how Toastmasters has evolved through the years with a view to being responsive to the
Yes.
needs of the members as they
Yes.
come in
I
and
remember
take their place in the world.
the pathways program coming on, and I am one of those, you know, people who sometimes, you resist the change, and you're saying, "Lord, have mercy. Why are we changing?" But then when you look at what is being offered, you are being taken in a direction that the world is really
That's
moving,
right.
and so we have to change. We have to change.
Mother,
Toastmasters.
Madam Moderator, we just also need to tell you that there is a saying that the more things change, the more they remain the same. Having
Mhm.
seen the value of the previous years, we had a board briefing this week from Toastmasters International, and they're in fact going back to some of the legacy program.
I
Yes,
see.
so they will be doing the communication series, the leadership series. Yes, going right back to
Yes,
basic. Because again, the foundation, many persons who would have come in pathways would not have benefited from that grounding and the
yes, yes,
foundation on
yes.
which to build.
Wonderful. Toastmaster Brenda, you are, well, from what Toastmaster Shirley says, you are pretty much involved in this alignment and getting the new candidates and the new district executive council set up. And how many clubs do we presently, not clubs, but how many divisions do we presently have in the Caribbean Toastmasters in District 81?
Okay, I think in District 81, but we are moving forward to now the two districts. So with
Mm-hmm.
this transitional period, the two districts are actually split. So we have two transitional chairs, we have two DLC chairs, and we have two alignment chairs, and the entire organization is led by the group transitional chair PID Roy. And so what we're doing is taking District 81 as the foundation and then having it split in the two districts as
Mm-hmm.
seamlessly as possible. And one of the things, and this experience for me as a DLC chair this year, was to realize that we need to work on what is leadership. I'm the author of number one Amazon bestseller about the dark side of leadership,
Mm-hmm.
where it talks about certain pitfalls. And once leaders are prepared for such things, they're aware because leadership can be quite lonely sometimes, especially when you have to make unpopular
Yeah.
decisions because
Heavy
you
is
have
the
to be
head that wears the crown.
yes, and you have to be accountable to the organizations. And one of the things I thought that was interesting in those interviews is the sometimes finding the disconnect with what TI actually wants or the foundation of it because we are in our own environment. And
Mhm.
I wish for our members to see the connection. The board meeting was last week. I shared it with my group and I was like, there are changes in the board meeting that affects your clubs directly. But if you're not aware of it, then you can continue doing things that are not benefiting your club and
Yes, yes.
Toastmasters are not doing anymore. So I think that is one of the things that a new district should ensure that they should have that information out there. Encourage their members to go on TI website and the leaders to actually have those things that make changes really possible in the district that benefits our members.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our culture lingo. We're going to have to close because we've run out of time. But before you go, two words that define leadership. Any two words that define leadership for you, Toastmaster Brenda and Toastmaster Daly?
For me, fulfilling and motivating. Because as I lead, is fulfilling for me, and especially if it's done well. And when I see others achieve their goal, it is fulfilling. And so for me, leadership is about getting your vision across by encouraging persons to walk along with you while getting something for themselves.
Wonderful. And I should add, if you haven't
My,
already gotten your copy of The Dark Side of Leadership, you should go out and get it. It's on
my two
Amazon.
words,
It's on
my two
Amazon.
words is transformative
Mm-hmm.
and becoming. They might overlap a bit, but when you enter leadership, especially through the doors of Toastmasters, you cannot help but be transformed. And therefore, when you are able to transform, you become transformed. You are
You
able
yourself.
to influence and transform others. So it's a most transformative experience. And the whole thing of becoming, you learn so much about who you are. And the experiences you have helps you to become. And I always say to people, it's not just about doing it, but when you embrace the process, who you become.
Yes.
And it's important for us also to note, madam, quickly, that the experience is one of value. So another word would be so valuable. Leadership is very valuable. And you are able to touch lives. You are able to touch lives and
Thank
make people better.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies, the time has gone rather swiftly, but I'm so delighted that I had an opportunity to speak with you both. Continue on your winning ways and continue to touch lives. And I continue to encourage Toastmasters, non-Toastmasters to get involved and register for Conference 2026 in Kingston, Jamaica. It's going to be at the AC Hotel, May 13 to 17. You may have missed the early bird, but it's at a price that is very cost effective. And I suggest you don't waste any more time, that you get on board, because there's going to be just a whole feast. You'll get a wonderful appetizer of speech contests, and you're going to have the gala, and you're going to have the opening ceremony. It's a cultural affair. We're going to be having yammins and jammins in the park at
And the
Emancipation
fellowship.
Park, and the fellowship and the camaraderie and
Yes.
the learning that will be taking place.
Absolutely.
It's going to be absolutely wonderful. And so I encourage everybody to jump onto Eventbrite and register for conference. And ladies, thank you once again so much
for having
being
us.
with me today. It has been a pleasure having you. And I just want to wish you well. And I look forward to seeing you in May at Conference
Yes.
2026.
We will be there. We
And
will be there and we will be working. Brenda and I will be on a panel just waiting to share
a
and to
panel
embrace
discussion.
others.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And
All
thank you
right.
so
So
much for this opportunity. You are an excellent host, and
my
we always
pleasure.
like to share and encourage persons to join this dynamic organization.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you again,
And
ladies.
thank you so much, Brenda, for that. Yeah.
Awesome.
I would say ditto. And importantly, it was just the joy that it has been to have embraced all of this for us to do it together. Thank you,
so
Madam
much.
Moderator.
You're most welcome, and thank you. And thanks to my District 81 Logistics Manager, Mr. Brian Paris, who is hiding today from the camera, Toastmaster Harriet Clark, who is also part of the machinery. And we just want to thank you for joining us on Voices That Lead, where Caribbean voices inspire leadership. If this episode inspired you and you got a lot of information and food for thought, share it with your fellow Toastmasters and colleagues. And remember, the stage is waiting for you at the upcoming district conference in Kingston, Jamaica this May. Register today and come experience the power of communication and leadership. God bless you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good evening.